The tradition continues.
Calvary Global to the world 24/7.
Tradition continues.
Calvary.
The European Peacekeeping Force could be sent to Ukraine as part of a deal to end the war with Russia. The US President has hosted his French counterpart at the White House. Both men agree there must be peace, but they're still divided on how that may be achieved. In a joint news conference, Emmanuel Macron spoke about not forcing Kiev to surrender and security assurances it needs for its future. Donald Trump mentioned none of that.
The cost and burden of securing the peace must be borne by the nations of Europe, not alone by the United States, and Europe must take that central role in assuring long-term security of Ukraine.
On Monday, in a strong show of support for Ukraine, a group of European and other leaders were in Kiev meeting Zelensky and stressing the need for a lasting peace deal and guarantees to prevent any future Russian invasion. The UN General Assembly has backed a proposal from Kiev demanding the immediate withdrawal of Russian troops from Ukraine. Washington voted against the resolution that blames Russia for the invasion. Instead, in the smaller Security Council, the Americans put forward their own separate resolution, and that was supported by Moscow. In Gaza, Hamas says it won't take part in any more negotiations until Israel releases hundreds of prisoners as agreed in the ceasefire deal. Israel indefinitely postponed the release of 620 Palestinian prisoners after it had received 6 hostages on Saturday. Despite reneging on its side of the bargain, Benjamin Netanyahu says the Israeli military is ready to resume fighting because he says Hamas has endangered the truce. Confrontations are being reported in the occupied West Bank city of Nablus, which is being attacked by the Israeli military. It has sent tanks into the West Bank for the first time in more than 2 decades and promised to keep troops there for the rest of the year. 40,000 Palestinians have fled over the past month, leaving the Jenin, Tulkarem and Nur Shams refugee camps empty. Israel says the displaced residents will never be allowed back home. And coalition talks have begun to form a new government in Germany after the centre-right Christian Democrats won the most votes in Sunday's election. The CDU's Friedrich Merz is keen to form an alliance with Olaf Scholz's Social Democrats. The SPD says it's going to carefully consider the idea, but Merz has already ruled out working with the far-right AfD. The Alternative for Deutschland party came second in Sunday's election.